Hi, I'm John McBride, and thank you for joining us on The Actor's View. Today, we look behind the masks. Today, I'm speaking with both Walt DeShields and Roberto Lombardi, who co-star in Masks, a new film from Back to 99 Productions visionary Charles A. Christman III. Thanks for joining us today. First, what is the strangest thing a role required you to do?
The most outrageous, unusual character that I've ever had to play was a character named Johnny in a movie called Abduction, where it was this whole town of people that basically kidnapped tourists and either sold the tourist body parts or impregnated the females and sold the babies on the black market, or sold them into sex slavery. And I was kind of one of the little ringleaders in this movie, but I had to play the entire character as it was an everyday thing, no emotion, no regard for any humanity whatsoever. Nothing concerned this character at all except his own selfishness. So that was for me.
Wow. Kidnapping babies. Okay. The weirdest thing I had to play was actually on stage, and it was a play called Jeffrey, and so in the show, a lot of the actors have to play several roles. So Jeffrey was gay, and being gay wasn't the weird part, but so I had to play somebody gay, but I had to be a lot of weird, different gay people. I had to be like a cater waiter, which is a lot like an actor. And I had to play the boyfriend of one of the main characters. And so I had to kiss him. And that was interesting because it was the first time that I kissed a man. Yeah, it was, I don't know how I felt about it afterwards. You know, he was an attractive man, I must say. Nice cheekbones and a good sturdy chin, and he was strong. And so I felt the connection between us. But my friends in the audience, when they came out to see it, they were vocal. And if you know how black people are in the theater already, it was a little disruptive. So that was the kind of most interesting and different kind of personalities in that case that I had to play.
It's weird you mentioned that because I had to do that for an audition for a movie. I was going to play a gay doctor who has this woman's husband killed because he was in love with her. And at the audition, they said to me, "Are you going to have a problem kissing a guy?" And I'm like, "No." And then they're like, "Well, this is the guy that you're going to be playing with. Could you just, So I kissed this guy at the audition, and I guess that's what got me the problem with it. But the movie lost its funding, and we never made it.
So you never really got the kiss?
Not on film.
Oh. We could have used that.
Besides acting, what other training have you had, such as voice, dance, or stage combat?
So I don't share it with everybody these days, but I am a trained dancer. I started in high school in my freshman year. I even lettered in it. Yes, you can letter and dance. I was able to keep it from the rest of the school because I also lettered in track and field. So, and you could only get one set of letters, but it included my dance experience with our school's dance company. And I learned everything. I learned ballet and modern dance, jazz and hip hop and classical, African, everything. And I used it into college. I danced some in college. But it's not something that I wanted to focus on. The dance requires a lot of work. Now, when I was an exotic dancer, I employed some of those skills, and I had some really good tippers. So, but I don't dance anymore, but I am a trained dancer, yes.
How could I possibly I'm going to try, though.
I'm sure it's interesting.
I've had as far back as high school and in college, I had several acting classes. I've had 3 years of vocal training for singing, but more for rock vocalist, not like classical or anything. I've had years of drum lessons. I've had years of bass lessons. I'm a self-taught guitarist and keyboardist.
Wow.
I've recorded over 10 albums.
Oh, wow.
And what else have I done? And as far as I know how I do fight choreography as well too. I'm not like, I couldn't be a stunt performer, but I can do my own stunts and choreography. I've been taught how to do that.
That's cool.
Plus I have law enforcement experience, so I learned guns and combat training for films as well.
Casting directors, what else do you want? This guy does it all.
From either of us.
That's great. Wow.
Have you experienced any real-life actors' nightmares?
Well, I could actually fill up an entire 90-minute film with the experiences I've had with some actors and some directors having nightmare experiences on set. I did have one director threaten to throw me out a window once because I didn't do an aerobic choreography piece the way he wanted me to do it, and he just freaked and wanted to throw me out the window. But as far as actors, I've also produced a couple of films and casted a couple of films. I'm primarily an actor, but some of the projects I do some behind-the-scenes work, and I've had actors who refused to show up to finish the film unless they got top billing in the movie.
Okay.
I've had actors tell the director that they need to schedule all of their scenes together in a few days because it's too far to drive to set. I've had actors ask casting directors if they could come from Philadelphia to New York to audition them. I've had people who are actors on set make up their own lines that were not in the script because they felt they deserved to have more screen time and more lines.
This is great.
And I could go on, but I think I'm just going to turn it over the wall at this point.
Those are all too great. They're too great.
And they're all true.
He made them come and audition him. That's what they wanted?
Do you come to New York to audition me? It's too far on the train. Thank you very much. We'll be, we won't be in touch.
Absolutely. That's hilarious. When I came home from college, I was ready to go, and I was going to shoot anything. So I met this guy. He must have been a student at one of our local art schools. I won't say which one. And he was a comic book guy, right? So you know these guys, right? You're good guys. But this guy was like, he was into fan fiction, and he wanted to do his own Batman fan fiction.
Okay.
Right. So I'm cool with that. This is great. I've seen some great fan fiction work. So he says, this is where we're going to shoot. This is what time. It was January 6th. I'll never forget it. It was cold as balls outside. Mm-hmm. And so he had this scene where I was playing a police officer and I was talking to Batman. So, for some reason, Batman was in a garbage dumpster in downtown Philadelphia. Now, he had on the whole Batman outfit, except that it wasn't like the warm-looking Batman outfit. It was like spandex. And we were freezing. Like, I think it started at like 10 degrees when we got there. It was nighttime, and the temperature just dropped the entire night, and we were shooting for like 6 hours. My hands were frozen, and poor Batman, it was unbelievable he even survived. And we shot this scene in the dumpster for 6 hours. God only knows what we were talking about. And we were all frozen to death. And after that day, I never heard from him again.
Did you ever see the film?
I haven't seen anything.
You you think it was ever done?
No, it couldn't be.
It's a shame because fan films can be really entertaining, and they can bring an actor a lot of notoriety and fans.
Yes.
And it can, to me, my opinion of fan films has always been, you're doing Hollywood level material,
right,
and you're showing Hollywood and the rest of the world that you and the director are capable of doing that kind of material.
Absolutely. And so I was into it. I think it was, you know, it was early on. I had a gun. I was excited about it.
You were working with Batman.
Right. I had a long jacket. It was Gotham. I don't know. But it was by the end of the night, it was horrible. I just wanted to be out of there. And then not even seeing any of the work was really disappointing. So that was a nightmare. I don't ever want that to happen again.
Is there a particular role that you really wanted, but you weren't cast in, a role that just got away?
There was a movie that came out some years ago. It was called The Great Debaters, and it starred Denzel Washington. And I heard about it maybe 2.5 years before they even started production on it. And I had said to myself, I'm gonna do this movie. And so I submitted for the project. The casting director is, you know, an LA lady, you know, cast everything, a lot of stuff that Denzel's in. And I got all the information. I don't even know how I got all the stuff that I did, but I did. I got everything. And this is without an agent or anything. And I knew I would have been perfect for the role. And somehow I got to read for it. Yeah, you know, and I didn't get it, obviously. But it's cool though, because the person who did get it is somebody that I was familiar with. Somebody from college. He had actually went to school that I went to for a couple of years, and he got the role. You know, now I really wanted it, you know, so yeah, I still like my friend though. He's cool and he did great work in it. But of course, that would have been the biggest thing that I ever had done, you know. And with film, you know, this is my idea about film is that it just reaches so many people, and you get that opportunity. So yeah, that's the biggest thing that absolutely I wish I could have got that.
My answer is kind of yes and no, or meaning, and what I mean by that is that no, there's really not a role that I went out for that I didn't get, that I thought to myself, oh, I should have gotten that role, and I really wanted that role. There was ones at the time that I auditioned for, and probably, and this is going to sound really weird, probably the biggest one that comes to mind is I auditioned for a role in True Blood.
Wow.
And when I auditioned for it, I thought I did really well. I had the whole vampire thing down, and then I didn't get the role. But when the show came out and I saw who they did cast in the role, I thought I was totally wrong for this role. It wouldn't have made sense with me in the role because I look nothing like the person that they cast.
Right.
I'm older, I'm not as thin, I'm not as tall, and just like everything about the character is not me. So I saw why I didn't get it. So that's really the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. I don't look at roles when it's all said and done as, you know, I mean, I think you'll get picked for the stuff that you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know? Right. So it's no big deal at the end of the day, but, you know.
This will be a two-pronged question. What's the worst part, and what's the best part about being an actor?
I don't know if it's a question of worst, but to use those words, I think there's nothing bad about being an actor. When you're doing the work, it's great. When you're in a role and you're in the zone and you're with a great cast and a great crew, there's kind of nothing like it. And then when it's done and you see it played back on a screen and people like it, it's gratifying and it's satisfying.
Right.
But the worst thing to me about being an actor is how when you're not famous yet, how some people treat you when you say, well, I'm an actor. Sure you are. Have you been in anything that I've seen?
Right.
No? Well, yeah, you know, sure you're an actor. What do you really do for a living? I find it really insulting. You know, it's not like if you get out of school and you're becoming a doctor and you go, well, you know, I'm a doctor. People don't go, yeah, sure you are. I've never seen you practice anywhere. It's just, you get this. Now it is, it's like,
it's tough.
Who do you think you are, Brad Pitt? No, I think I'm Roberto Lombardi. I don't think I'm anybody else.
Right. Yeah, because of his answer, I almost don't even say it to most people, you know, just because of that response. I think my answer would be different, just so I don't copy Roberto, which was a great answer, is the business. Yeah, so the worst part to me is the business. And so what I mean is, it's like we're artists, so like we really care about the work. Like Roberto just said, like we really are interested in the work, getting it done, working with great people who are also artistic. But handling some of what it takes to make this a profit-generating venture, you know, especially the higher you go, can be frustrating. Like for one, we're brands in our own self, so we kind of got to sell ourselves constantly and sit and talk to a whole bunch of people who are not like us, and that whole thing. So that part's tough. And also, and this is for most actors, I'm sure, experience it. Like there are a lot of people in the business who benefit or try to benefit in sometimes really suspect ways off of our hopes and dreams. You know, it makes a lot of actors vulnerable, you know, because we really want to accomplish these goals. Like they're a part of us. It's all we want to do. And I mean, there are a lot of people that want to take advantage of that, you know, for their own profit. So that part sucks. You know, that part sucks. The best thing about being an actor is the opposite of what I just said, right? The artistic kind of freedom that we have. You know, I think all artists, but specifically since I'm an actor and Roberto's an actor, you know, being in front of a camera or being on stage and just being in front of people, like, you know, performing and like being like being a mirror for them, sharing with them, you know, like that's amazing. You know, I heard an actor once say, you know, people ask me why I act, and then I asked them, why do you breathe? I guess it's like breath to us, you know. It's what else am I going to do? You know, I mean, I was a teacher for 7 years, you know, Roberto's in law enforcement. I mean, we've done other stuff, you know, but this is what helps us get through the other stuff a lot of times, you know. So that's the best thing about it. It's really amazing. There are amazing people. The people are amazing. You know, not only the actors, the directors, right, the tech folk, I mean, the people behind the camera, really great people. Like, what they do to make this thing happen is nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, because a film shoot becomes like a family.
Right.
And anybody who's ever worked on a film in any sense of it, you have a sense of community and family, and these are people that you become friends with.
Yes.
And even though you might not see them every day or for months at a time, eventually you're probably going to work with them again.
Yes.
And it really kind of picks up right from where you were before. And you know, going even further with what Walter said, is that when you do a film and it gets played and someone comes up to you afterwards and says, I saw you in this film and you were great, I loved what you did, you know, I believed everything you said, and you know, your performance really meant something to me. The praise is nice, but the fact that you touched somebody enough that they felt they had to come up and tell you that how much they enjoyed what you did, that's a huge reward for being an actor. And what Walter said is true. You don't do this in the beginning to make money. You don't do this in the beginning or even now, you know, because you're famous, because now let's be honest.
We're not famous.
Okay? You do this because you love it.
Right.
Now you spend all your free time doing this because you love it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Good.
Cool.
Walt, Roberto, thanks again. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on The Actor's View, Behind the Masks.